Good morning. This is Derek Demore with Futures Demore and Futures Networks Live. We're here to hopefully quickly go over opening bell and end of day predictions. Positive points for breakfast. So we had a screaming up, before opening bell. Would have been nice to do our call it our Timothy trade, our RSI back to 50 at about 9 o'clock, which we did. Actually, a lot of us did that. Now looking at opening bell. We saw that, has it had enough pullback to go long? The call was long. Just on the short term, historically, the data was short, but it was 57% either way. So I went long at market and short with my DCAs, and you'll see what happened. Basically lost right away. We lost the NAS, but look at this. Hit me right there. And then the next one, it would have went up and filled 24 points. So my feeling is either market order, I got in right at market. If I would have gotten in on the tick below, I may have been below it. Knowing that this was at the 200 period, I could have pulled my stop down a little bit, done a DCA. There's many things live I might have changed, but that's just unfortunate. That does happen. And then you see that I lost in the S&P and we won in the Russell. So all in all, we're going to be about plus, I think, $8 or something, 8 currency units and positive like 1 point or something. So on the limit order side of things, I looked at the 1 hour and I said, if I'm going to get in because it was such a strong move up, I put the spots. I said, okay, this line at 2301.7, almost 2302, seemed like a tough line to get above. So I took 5 off of that for the Russell and made it at 2296.7 as my first entry, and then 1 DCA. And I thought it would have a hard time getting over 2305 if you look left. That seemed to be the spot. So I was clear of this wick way back on June 2nd. If I get into my DCA, so I really like this. If it doesn't come up and get me, then I don't really want to be into the trade. Same with the NASDAQ. Now, remember, this is the hour candle before. If I switched to the 5-minute, you would have found that we were down below this quite a bit at the time, which I could show you on the right. But we were down, and I said, okay, if it comes back up to 758, almost 759, I'll get in, because then my 12 points at 771 or whatever it would be is clear of the 1 hour wick, and it's above my 766 line that I had, which is more like the actual wick line. I should move this up right to there. That's the spot right there. So I'm clear of all that. And then I get into that DCA. I could leave it as a stop. Either way, I was comfortable. I like to do 1 DCA. And then on the S&P, again, we were below the spot that I was at here. I looked left. I saw this garbage. I thought if I can get in at 42.31, I would be happy with that. So, and then I put, what I like about this is that my DCA would be less than 4 points below the all-time high. So I really liked all those things, because knowing that it could bounce off of the all-time high. So this is what happened. Limit orders. You can see I got in to the S&P, got into the NASDAQ, didn't need the DCAs, and then eventually went down and filled. Now, what's really interesting is I got into both, which that just launched up. I mean, that's why we won the Russell on this side. And it never did get above that 2305. So I was actually pretty cool. My stop was at what, 2307, 2307.7, I think. So I believe I'm still in this trade. We'll have to go to the 5-minute real quick, and I'll show you where we're at. So what I ended up doing on this one is since I'm, my average entry price is right here at like 2299.3, is I got out of one contract when it pulled down, just it went a little bit below. and I put my stop, looks like I'm going to get stopped out. I put it at 2305.2 because I figure if it busts above this, it's going to get me out. So right here, it looks like it's just about to get me out, and it did. Okay, so I'm out of that. Now we can get our totals, and I can show you how everything ended up. So you can see end of day, I was very close. I was within 3 to 5 points on everything. Some I hit. There were no reports today. Seems like the all-time high is going to be tough to breach on the S&P. So we bounced off the 4180 support, which we talked about on Friday. Looks like the bottom support right now is 4207 to 4211, 12 area. And I'm showing either 4203 if it gets down to the, just below the pivot point, or just below the all-time high for the NAS, or for the S&P. So that is for the S&P. Now we're going to pull up the, okay, so the same here. And as you can see, it did hit the bottom end of the NAS. It's funny because I did have my original prediction at 13,760, which that would have been right in the smack dab in the middle, but I changed it. So you can see we got our close above 737, which we really liked. And so now I see end of day potentially back down here where basically my kind of prediction was on Friday, or busting through and getting up to the 830 area. So there we are on the NAS, and then I'll put up the Russell and our totals. So fairly similar look. We almost hit it again by a couple points. Bounced off the 10-day again, still bullish, 2290, now the bottom support. We need the close above 2300, which it looks like we might get to remain bullish. My end of days are 2288, which is right at the trend line, or staying above and going up to 2223. So I'll show you where those are. So this is where I'm thinking it could potentially end the day. And now we'll show you our totals, and then we'll see you tomorrow. So for whatever reason, I couldn't save them on my Ninja screen, so I'm doing them here. Market entries. Basically, you can see what we did. Our totals were -6, but we were positive 12 currency units. Limit orders, plus and plus, and a minus on 4 contracts. Totals 29 points, plus 118 currency units. Thanks for being a part of Futures to More, Futures Networks Live. Positive points for breakfast and everything else that we deliver. Have a great day, and I'll see you on Tuesday.